You ever have one of those conversations with an AI where it seems to totally remember what you said 5 minutes ago, but has no clue about yesterday? Well, the reason for that is one of the most important new ideas in AI today, context engineering. So let's dive in and see what it's all about and why it's such a game changer.
AI expert Andrej Karpathy calls it a delicate art, and honestly, that just nails it. It's not about just dumping a fire hose of data on an AI. Nope. It's way more strategic. It's about feeding it exactly the right piece of info at the perfect time to guide what it thinks next.
So, what's the big deal here? Well, the core situation is that every large language model, deep down, has a pretty big problem. It basically has the memory of a goldfish. And to really get why context engineering is so critical, you have to understand this one major limitation.
Okay, so think of an AI's context window as its short-term memory. It's just like the RAM in your computer. It's super fast, super powerful, but it's limited. It can only hold on to so much information at one time before it starts, well, dropping things. And if you just keep stuffing more and more information into that limited space without thinking, you get total chaos. A single wrong fact can get stuck in there and literally poison the rest of the conversation. Old, useless details become distractions, and pretty soon you've got this clash of information that leads to just plain confusion and bad answers.
So how do we fix this messy, forgetful brain? Well, the action we need to take isn't just about asking a slightly better question. It's way bigger. It's about becoming an architect, literally designing the entire information environment that the AI thinks in.
And this, right here, is the heart of context engineering. It's a systematic discipline. See, it's not just about that first prompt you type in. It's about managing every single piece of the puzzle. The main instructions, the examples you give it, the memories it holds onto, and even the live data it pulls from other tools. This slide just captures the whole shift in thinking perfectly. On the left, you have prompt engineering. That's like trying to fine-tune a single tiny gear. It's all about one specific instruction. But context engineering, on the right, that's like designing the entire factory. It's strategic. You're not just writing one perfect question. You're building the whole system to be smart.
So, what's in this toolkit? It really comes down to 3 key moves. First, you select. You pull only the most relevant facts you need, avoiding all the noise. Second, you compress. You take long conversations and you either summarize them or trim them down to just the essentials. And finally, in more complex setups, you isolate. You give different AI agents their own little memory spaces, almost like firewalls, so they don't get confused by each other's work.
And this table really shows you the trade-offs engineers are constantly making. Let's just focus on compressing information. You can just trim the oldest parts of a conversation that's super fast, super cheap, but you risk the AI suddenly getting amnesia about something important. The other option? Have another AI write a summary. That keeps the key facts, but it's slower, it costs more, and what if the summary itself is wrong? You see, there's no single easy answer.
Now, when all of this is done right, the result isn't just a slightly smarter AI. It's a huge shift. We're talking about creating AI brains that are consistent, that are efficient, and most importantly, that we can actually rely on.
And this is why it all matters so much right now. When you engineer the context well, you get an AI that can actually follow a long, winding conversation without getting lost. It can handle a task with multiple steps, and maybe most critically, by cutting down on those weird errors and hallucinations, we can finally start building those powerful AI agents we've all been hearing about.
This really is the bottom line. Moving forward, the big race in AI isn't just going to be about who can build the biggest model. The real advantage, the thing that will actually set companies apart, is going to be mastering the art of context. It's about who is best at managing the information we feed these incredible AI brains.
Which kind of leaves us with one last big question to think about. As we keep building these smarter and smarter systems to work with us, maybe the hardest part isn't teaching them what to know, but teaching them what and when they need to forget.